A world of power, money, fear, and loyalty, where decisions meant life or death. Welcome to the underworld of the Mafia. From humble beginnings in Sicily, Italy, the Mafia grew into a vast criminal empire. Originally serving as a secret society to protect Sicilian people against oppressive foreign powers and corrupt officials, it quickly evolved into something much darker. By the 1900s, Italian immigrants carried this dangerous tradition to the United States, particularly New York City, where it thrived amidst the organized chaos of prohibition. Gangsters armed with Tommy guns roamed the streets, flaunting their wealth and power while evading the law at every turn. This was the golden age of gangsterism, and it would not be long before these new arrivals made their presence felt. But how exactly did they do it? The answer lay in the restructuring of the Mafia. Under the leadership of mob boss Lucky Luciano, the various Italian-American crime families were reorganized into a powerful network known as the Five Families: Gambino, Genovese, Lucchese, Bonanno, and Colombo. Each family operated within its own designated territory and followed a strict hierarchy with its own set of rules and regulations. At the pinnacle of this structure stood the Commission, a governing body comprising of high-ranking members from each family. This council had the authority to make critical decisions that affected the entire organization, including deciding matters of life and death. This systematic approach brought unprecedented levels of efficiency and power to the Mafia, setting the stage for its rise to dominance. As the Mafia grew, so did its influence, infiltrating legitimate businesses and holding significant sway over politicians and law enforcement officials. However, perhaps the most crucial factor contributing to their success was their ability to maintain secrecy. If you enjoyed this episode, stay tuned for more exciting stories like this one. Now let's delve deeper into the intriguing aspect of Mafia culture: Omerta, the code of silence. Imagine a world where keeping quiet could mean the difference between life and death. Welcome to the Mafia, where Omerta wasn't just a saying, it was a way of life. Members of the Mafia lived by a strict code of silence, a tradition that demanded they never speak to authorities, no matter the consequences. This unspoken rule permeated every aspect of Mafia culture, creating a sense of fear and loyalty among its members. In fact, even referring to oneself as a Mafia member was considered a breach of trust. If caught, you might find yourself on the receiving end of a swift and brutal punishment. And there were plenty of ways to enforce this. From threatening family members to acts of violence, the pressure to stay silent was immense. To break this code was seen as the ultimate betrayal, a cardinal sin that would not go unpunished. Moreover, children were indoctrinated into this way of thinking from an early age, instilling in them the importance of silence and loyalty. Growing up in a Mafia household meant learning the intricacies of Omerta, understanding that the safety of the family depended on it. Unfortunately, living a life dictated by fear and secrecy took its toll on those involved, blurring the lines between right and wrong and creating a culture of deceit. In the next part, we'll explore how this wall of silence was finally breached, leading to the downfall of the Mafia. Imagine being in a courtroom, surrounded by intense drama, watching as a key witness reveals the inner workings of a powerful crime syndicate. That's exactly what happened when Sammy the Bull Gravano took the stand. His testimony exposed the Mafia's secrets and led to several high-profile arrests and convictions. So who was Sammy the Bull, and why was his testimony such a big deal? Samuel Gravano, aka Sammy the Bull, was a Mafia captain in the Gambino crime family. He was a key player in various illegal activities, including murder, gambling, and drug trafficking. But his loyalty to the Mafia didn't last forever. As the years went on, he became disillusioned with the lifestyle and the danger it entailed. Eventually, he decided to cooperate with the authorities, providing them with valuable insights into the Mafia's inner workings. One of the most significant pieces of information he shared was the identity of John Gaudi's associates, and their roles in various criminal activities. Gotti, also known as the Teflon Don, was a notorious mafia boss who had managed to evade prosecution for years. However, thanks to Gravano's testimony, the walls were closing in and Gotti's reign of power was about to come crashing down. Gravano's decision to cooperate was driven by a desire for a better life. He wanted to protect his family and ensure their safety. By working with the authorities, he hoped to secure a more stable future for himself and his loved ones. Unfortunately, this cooperation came at a cost. Once the Mafia learned of his betrayal, Gravano and his family became targets. They faced constant threats and lived in fear of retaliation. Despite the risks, Gravano remained steadfast in his decision. He knew that by exposing the Mafia's secrets, he was helping to dismantle a powerful criminal empire and bring its members to justice. His testimony had a profound impact on the outcome of several high-profile trials. In one case, he provided crucial evidence that led to the conviction of Gotti himself. This marked a significant blow to the Mafia, weakening its structure and sending shockwaves throughout the organization. However, the repercussions of his actions didn't end there. As the Mafia suffered setbacks due to his cooperation, other members began to question their own loyalty and the risks associated with remaining silent. Some started to consider the possibility of cooperating with the authorities, hoping for a lighter sentence or a chance at a new life. Gravino's story serves as a reminder that even in the face of fear and adversity, one person's testimony can make a world of difference. His bravery in exposing the Mafia's secrets paved the way for justice and may have inspired others to seek redemption and a better future. All right, now let's talk about Rico. You might have heard the term thrown around in movies or TV shows, but what does it actually mean? And why is it such a big deal? RICO stands for Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations. It is a term used to describe a type of criminal organization that engages in a pattern of illegal activities to gain power and profit. These organizations often have a hierarchical structure and use violence, intimidation, and corruption to achieve their goals. So how does RICO work, and why is it important? Well, let me break it down for you. Imagine you're a detective investigating a series of crimes, and you start to notice a pattern. Several different crimes seem to be linked together by a single criminal organization. This could be anything from extortion and gambling to drug trafficking and money laundering. In cases like these, law enforcement agencies can step in and use RICO statutes to dismantle the organization. Under RICO, law enforcement can target the entire organization, including its leaders and members. By proving that a criminal organization exists and has been involved in a pattern of racketeering activity, law enforcement can seek to disrupt its operations and bring its members to justice. They can seize the organization's assets, disrupt its communication networks, and put pressure on its members to cooperate. You might be wondering why RICO is such a big deal. Well, let me tell you. Traditional law enforcement methods often focus on individual crimes and perpetrators. But RICO takes a different approach. It allows law enforcement to tackle criminal organizations at their core, breaking up the structure that enables them to commit crimes and generate profits. This can be a game changer in the fight against crime because it addresses the root causes of criminal activity rather than just treating the symptoms. One of the most famous examples of RICO in action was the prosecution of John Gotti, a notorious mafia boss. Gotti had evaded law enforcement for years, but thanks to RICO, he was finally brought to justice. But wait, there's more. RICO isn't just limited to taking down criminal organizations. It also provides for the seizure of assets derived from criminal activity. This means that not only can law enforcement disrupt an organization's operations, but they can also confiscate the proceeds of crime, depriving criminals of the very resources they use to commit crimes in the first place. Overall, RICO is a powerful tool in the fight against crime. By targeting criminal organizations, disrupting their operations, and seizing their assets, law enforcement can make a significant dent in the criminal underworld. And that's all for today. Did you find this episode insightful? Or perhaps you have some thoughts you'd like to share? We'd love to hear from you in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.